Yeah, he reckoned he was going to come round in a special custody vehicle and take me down to the court under the Domestic Violence Act.
Alright, okay.
See, what gets me is all these people who break all these laws and do all this stuff and nothing ever happens to them. I wonder why that is.
What? People like?
Chris Green.
Right, okay.
Or like Newlands, who shove letters through your door and charge you for the privilege.
Who?
Newlands, when they haven't even spoken to anyone in the house.
Who's Newlands? That bailiff company?
Also illegal. Nothing happens to them. So why is that? Why are the courts never taking action about
Do you pay your
them?
council tax?
So what?
Do you pay your council tax?
I'm banned from contacting any council.
Alright, okay.
Why would I?
So,
why would I pay it to a bunch of thieves and liars anyway?
So why do you get letters from bailiffs and stuff like that?
Because they're trying to get me to pay my council tax.
Alright, okay.
But I have been banned from contacting any council. This isn't hard. And it's been confirmed by the local government ombudsman if the council wish to overturn that ban, they must approach the courts and take it through the courts in the correct manner. Nothing to do with getting me to pay my council tax initially. I might have to pay it after that if they succeed in overturning the ban.
So you don't pay your council tax at all?
No, not since they banned me. I was quite happy paying it until then. And I've said numerous occasions if they revoke the ban, then I will carry on paying it. I've said that online, I've said it on Facebook, I've said it on Twitter. But they didn't want to do that. They just want to get the heavy boys round.
So who do you contact then to pay your council tax?
Well, we used to put it through internet banking. Doesn't matter, a ban's a ban. If you've got any kind of if you've got any kind of restraining order against someone and you send them money, that's breaking the restraining order. This is the same thing, it's a legal banning order.
Well, that's why I was saying this morning you should take it up with the court. You know, that's the issue.
There's nothing to take up with the court. It's down to the council to revoke the ban.
We'll speak to the council to get them to
Now,
revoke the ban.
I did write to them, several of them in fact, when they first introduced the ban and said I wouldn't be paying my council tax until the ban was revoked, but they chose not to reply.
What, the council?
Until 6 months later.
Council or the courts?
Council. They just chose to ignore my letter about that. And then 6 months later, when they realised I hadn't been paying it because I was banned, then they started in with all the threats and the legal action. So this is entirely their fault and entirely their problem.
And we're stuck in the middle.
You are very stuck in the middle. Between a rock and a hard place.
I understand where you're coming from, the council tax and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm not against you.
There you go.
I understand what you're saying. You know, I'm not the bad person here.
Yeah, you got asked you to remove your foot from my door 4 times and you haven't bothered.
I'm stuck in the middle. I'm doing my job.
I've asked you to remove your foot from my door 4 times and you haven't bothered.
I know.
So how are you not a bad person?
Because I'm doing my job.
No, you're not.
I'm doing my job.
I've requested that you remove your foot from my door.
Yeah, well, I'm doing my job.
Which you know you are required to do. Because there is no forced entry.
You're also required to come to the court.
No, I'm not.
Or pay a council tax.
If I hadn't been paying my council tax willingly, just out of sheer bastardisation or whatever, then yes.
How far is it behind, or out of date, or is it months?
I don't know, they're going to have a lot when they want it though.
But when did it all start happening?
Last October.
Since October, it hasn't been paid?
No, I got the letter from the council on the 13th of October last year.
What, to say that?
I was banned from contacting any council.
Oh, right, okay. What, any council at all?
Any council. That's what it said.
It just seems strange, doesn't it?
Now, if they wanted to specify a certain council, they should have said, except, or that I was just banned from one council. But they didn't. They said any council.
I bet they wish they never said that, don't they?
I bet they wish they don't, because I don't think the women who has got a job anymore. I'll quite happily give the letter to the police.
Can't they do any sort of mediation or anything like that between you and them? It's been confirmed
that if they wish to overturn the ban, they must approach the courts and do it in the correct manner. Now, obviously, I must be attendant at those cases to argue my case.
Have you actually got that letter?
Yes.
Do you want to go and get it? I'm not going to come in.
I don't trust you, mate.
Well, I'm just trying to help.
I shall wait till he gets over here to keep an eye on you. Not that I trust them.
But Yeah, that'd be interesting to see that.
The letter is 15 feet away from me, mate. Because I carry it everywhere.
And does it honestly literally say?
Any council.
Right, okay. So I think that the local council...
They're trying to argue that because county council wrote it, it only means county council.
And not local council.
But it says any council.
Right,
Now,
okay.
if county council wish to specify county council, they should have said any county council building. But they didn't. They said any council.
Right, okay.
It's all... Well, you should know yourself, mate. One word wrong in a court case can get the whole thing thrown out. It's all technicalities.
Well, I don't understand why they can't carry on doing it through the internet, because you're not contacting them as such. They're still making payments.
As I've tried to explain to you, if you have any kind of restraining order against anyone, you send them money, that's breaking the restraining order. It's the same thing. It's a legal ban.
Right, okay.
It's been confirmed. The government ombudsman confirmed it by accident when they said if I wish to contest a ban against county council, I'd have to take it through the courts. But I'm banned from any council. That's what the letter says. Therefore, the council must take it through the courts and disprove. Now, if they want to apologise to me and give me £5 for the inconvenience, I'll carry on paying.
So what if they have like some sort of mediation where you pay your council tax or agree to start paying it if they lift that ban?
If they lift the ban up, I'll start paying it.
It's
Simple as
that.
I've told them that 20 times on YouTube.
Simple as that.
Yes. I've said that 20 times on YouTube. I was never withholding it. They've banned me.
And they've never contacted you since then?
Well, through get the heavy mob round, the bailiff, send the police around to try and nick me. That's how they've been contacting me. They've not replied to a word I've said.
But if the council were to come round and speak to you, then you deal with it.
All they need to do is write to me, say they've overturned the ban. Do you think I really care if that's been done legally through the courts or not? That's all I said they had to do in the first place. And then they have to offer me some sort of compensation, because let's face it, have a look. And all the shit I've got since last October, bailiffs coming round, letters, people turning up, threatening behaviour. Give me some sort of compensation. Rubbish your father's brother. I'm not withholding.
Look, why don't you just get the letter, come to court with us this morning, and then just get it out of the way?
I'll get the letter when he comes over.
Do you know what's going to happen?
I'll get the letter when he comes over, but I want someone keeping an eye on you.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm not going to come to the house.
I don't care, mate. I don't believe you.
Right. But the thing is, it's going to end up with you going to the court anyway. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
You've just stood there and practically agreed with me.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. You've got to go to court.
No, I don't.
To bring the letter with you.
The ban has to be overturned. That's the only thing they've done here.
I know what you're saying.
I can make a phone call. They can have the arrears in the bank tomorrow.
But we've got to act on this warrant and take it to court. Then you can speak to the court.
It's an illegal warrant.
It's not.
Of course it bloody is.
It's not. You wouldn't be here otherwise.
Did the council tell you I'd been banned from contacting any council? So how can they?
It's a district council.
So how can they issue a warrant for not paying my council tax?
Well, that's, like I say, it's the thing you've got to take up the court this morning.
Why should I?
I'm trying to do it like civil and being decent with you.
Why should I?
I haven't been rude or anything with you. I've been decent.
What have you just said to me? What have you just asked me?
About the letters,
if they overturned the ban, would you pay? I've said yes.
Well, that's why we need to take to court this morning.
No, because I'm not going down there. They'll put me in a little box and then they'll stick me in a cell and say you're refusing to pay. I'm not refusing to pay. I never have refused to pay.
Well,
and all this bullshit is because HDC employees only know how to do one thing, and that is lie. And steal, actually, two things.
Well, we've got to get this resolved this morning. That's why we've got to take it to court this morning. That's the only way it's going to get resolved.
You overturn the ban, I'll pay.
Well, that's why.
Simple as that.
That's why you got to go to
I don't need a judge to do that. That needs to come from the council side. That needs to come from the council side. Why should I disrupt my day going to court when there's absolutely no reason to do so?
Look, we've got to get it sorted out this morning. We won't get to go to court.
Got more coppers here, got more people standing on my doorstep, more threatening behaviour.
That's why we just need to get it sorted out. Do you not think just get it sorted out and then they can...
What needs sorted out?
Well, we've got to take it to court this morning. No. So you can speak to
one thing, what needs sorted out?
Well, we've got to arrest you and take it to court.
No, the ban. That's the one thing that needs sorted out. Regardless of wherever you're going to take me or whatever you want to do. The one thing that needs sorted out is the ban, that's it.
I understand that, but we've got to take it to court this morning so you can speak to them
and
they can overturn the ban. We have got to take it to court.
No, you don't. I've got a legal banning order. You're breaking the law by taking me into that courtroom.
This is going to go around in circles.
Well, that's fine. I don't
This
care.
police officer to come in there.
I've been going around in circles with this for 7 years, mate. There's still 30 years worth of public money's
Get it
missing.
sorted then. That's what I'm trying to say. Just get it sorted.
No, that won't get the fucking stolen money sorted, will it?
Well, that's
That's
something
not
you've
the
got to take
point.
up with.
All
whoever
I'm saying
deals
is,
with that.
I'll stand here for 7 years if that's what it takes.
But that's something you can take up with, I should say, the local council about all that sort of stuff. But there's nothing we can do this morning about that. We've got to take you to court this morning.
They have known since last October if they overturned the ban, I would pay my council tax.
Well, there's obviously a
They've
reason
refused
why
to.
they're not.
Oh, yeah, what would that be then?
But that's why you got to come
Oh,
to court.
I wonder. They've known that since the day they banned me. That's October the 13th, I think it was.
Right, okay.
Right, so they've had, and I wrote to them and informed what I would be doing.
Mm.
I was not withholding, I was merely not allowed to pay. So that's November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Oh, 10 months. And all they had to do was overturn the ban.
Mm.
There's nothing to be talked about in court.
Well, we've got to get this resolved this morning.
No, you don't, the council does.
Well,
Have I not just told you for 10 months they've known that if they overturned the ban I would pay?
Yes, but we've got to do this job this morning.
No, you don't.
We've got to take you to court this morning.
No, you don't.
We're
There isn't
not.
a job to be done. The council has lied to you
Yes.
to get a warrant of arrest issued. Do you not understand that?
I do understand, but we've got to take you to court this morning.
No, you don't.
Yes, we do.
The council. Look, what have I just told you? I've just told you
I've
the
been listening to you,
council.
I've been reasonable with you.
I've just told you the council has lied to
Yeah, we're
you
going round
to
in
obtain
circles,
an
aren't
arrest
we?
warrant. That doesn't bother you at all.
They haven't, otherwise we wouldn't be here.
Well, of course they have. I've got
They
the proof in there.
Right, well you can get bits and pieces and we could take it to court
Right,
this
ID,
morning.
please.
My ID, there's my warrant card.
Fine. Right, I've been banned from contacting any council, so there's nothing to discuss here other than the council overturning that ban.
What do you mean you've been banned from contacting
Right,
me?
do you want to keep an eye on him? Because I've asked him 5 times, he's refused to get his foot out the door.
Okay, that's fine. We'll just tell me what you mean
I would
by you've been
strongly
banned.
advise neither of you trying to enter the property.
Okay, well if you want to explain to me why you've been banned from
I'm just going to get
contacting the council.
the explanation now.
Okay, well no one's going to be entering the property, not while I'm here.
Right. You got it? Read that. And I've got severe doubts about the validity of that warrant as well, by the way.
I can appreciate that, sir, but at the end of the day we wouldn't be here.
No, don't
if-
you keep saying that. Please
Well-
don't keep saying that.
Well, we wouldn't be, would we? At the end of the day, if it wasn't a valid warrant, these guys are official court
Yes, well, I've got 20
officers.
pretend warrants upstairs, which are all false for one reason or another. I've seen them go to work.
Well, at
And
the
you
end of the
guys,
day-
you guys are refusing to investigate the 30 years worth of theft in the public purse they've committed, and you're refusing to investigate the illegal summons the council issues pretending to be the court, and you're refusing to investigate the illegal warrants the courts issue because they don't have a correct offence on them, and you're also refusing to investigate a dummy company called Huntingdon District Council, which is trading out of the town hall in St Ives and is not traceable on the government's company website.
Well, we're not refusing.
But is active on another website. Yes, you are refusing. That's why there's a complaint against your chief constable right now.
Okay, that's fine. Let me just read this. Okay, so this is saying that the council no longer want you in any of their council offices,
They no longer want any contact from me, full stop.
and due to your conduct, don't want any written correspondence from you. But unfortunately, that doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Just let me finish.
I know what you're going to say.
What?
You're going to say that doesn't stop me sending the money?
No, that